Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Zodyrus here bringing you episode 5 of my Pokemon X Gale Darkness Let's Play. Okay, so as I had mentioned previously in the last video, I went ahead and did a fuckload of Pika Hexing. I gave a bunch of Pokemon moves that they can naturally learn, but it's mostly moves that they can learn later on in other generations. However, in the case of something like Mawile, it does not know Metal Claw in any generation. But I really did want to give it Hidden Power Steel. I'm not going to be using it, but I don't care. I just didn't want to give it to it. It does get Shadow Ball, however, in Generation 4 and onward, so I might as well give it to it here. I also, if you notice, I put everybody to level 100. The only ones I'm not using at level 100 are the Pokemon that I'm actually going to be having in my party. And as far as my party is concerned, it's pretty much unchanged, but I have my third, fourth final member, whatever, Gardevoir here with Fire Punch and Ice Punch and Thunderbolt and Psychic and all that jazz. Breloom, it can learn Rock Tomb in Generation 4 and onward. Then I've got Ampharos still, Houndoom still, Ledian, not permanent party members. But I do have two potential permanent members, Crobat here, with Adamant Nature, with Hidden Power Ground, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, and Aerial Ace. And Aggron with Aerial Ace, Iron Tail, Rock Slide, and Brick Break. As well as Flygon with Earthquake, Flamethrower, Signal Beam, which it can learn in Generation 4, and Dragon Claw. So we will hopefully have... actually, hold on. I'm gonna freaking swap out for Flygon, I guess. Although, considering my team composition, 3 of my Pokemon, well, 2 of them, Houndoom and Ampharos, would be one-hit KO'd by Flygon's Earthquake. So maybe I should go with Aggron or Crobat. But yeah, so it's been about 2 days, well, not 2 days, about a day and a half since I recorded last. And, you guys probably can't tell, but my Dolphin emulator is running at normal frame rate of, 60 FPS, 30 FPS, whatever, with little hiccups. And it was also running at 1.5K resolution. I just got my 8GB stick of DDR4 SODIMM RAM in the mail today. And as soon as I popped that puppy in, everything was performing perfectly fine. So the big thing that I noticed, the really major one, was that as soon as I popped the RAM in and booted the computer back up, here come the yawns. Anyway, as soon as I booted the computer back up, and I did some tests with CPU-Z to see exactly how the memory fit in the computer and all that stuff, I doubled the RAM basically because I removed the 2GB stick and replaced it with the 8GB, and I already had a 4 in there. So I went from 6 to 12 gigs of RAM. And the extra RAM seems to have definitely made a huge difference, because when I first booted up the computer, before, my computer was at 6 gigs of RAM, and it was using anywhere from 2.5 to 4 gigs of RAM just to run normally. But, oh fuck, spot monitor. But, with what I have now, with the 12 gigs of RAM, it was actually running at, it's actually running at 6 gigs of RAM total usage right now. Not the best. I mean, honestly, it's actually still kind of laggy a bit, but that's mostly the CPU's fault. So, although the RAM did improve the stability and all that jazz, it did, however, it didn't really affect the CPU, of course. It does take a little bit of the load off, but at the same time, it also kind of doesn't. Like, it takes enough of the load off for it to not, like, utterly shit the bed. But it still ain't perfect, but it's definitely better than what it was yesterday. Although the CPU is still reading 80% usage, just transferring between towns. Then again, this is also at 1.5x resolution, so if I probably decreased it back, which, give me a sec. Okay, I put it back to normal resolution, although now I'm actually experiencing more lag, which is weird. Huh. Okay, this is very confusing. Hold on. Okay, maybe setting the frame skipping thingy from unlimited back to 100% speed will kind of improve stability a bit. I also turned it back to 1.5x resolution, just because the game looks better that way. But right now, Phenac City is under control by Cipher. The way to get them to reveal themselves, you gotta come in this house and grab this CD. And don't worry, you can clear out Phenac City very quickly. There's only 6 mandatory battles before we fight the people in the thingy stadium. So I'm thinking there's some CPU problems here, because my CPU is what's really dragging my system down right now. And I'm not really sure why it's doing that. You know what? Hold on. Let me close some stuff. I do have a couple of things open still. Okay. Did that improve anything? Oh, actually kind of did. Maybe the actual thing having, like, open, checking how much my CPU is being used is actually lagging the game. Well, either way. Oh, and make sure you save just in case you don't want to knock out the shadow that this lady has. If I remember correctly, she's got Shadow Snowrunt. Yep, so Viper and Snowrunt. Not the biggest fan of Snowrunt, in particular because of Gale. I'm still a bit bitter that the fact that Gale got a Mega Evolution, but the preferred one for me, which is Frostlass, did not. I mean, Frostlass would have done really well with a Mega. I mean, Frostlass could have been like one of the fastest ice types in the game had she had a chance to get a Mega Evolution. One of the big issues I've noticed with the emulation for performance for XD Gale Darkness is because of the fact that the frame rate jumps between 60 and 30 FPS when you're exiting and entering menus, or exiting and entering like the PC. It causes the frame rate to chug when you're transitioning between the two things, which in turn causes the game itself to lag. Pretty much a pain in the butt, but whatever. So let me just see if I can, like, put it back to unlimited. There we go. Yeah, because these battles take forever. A lot of people complain about how long the battles in Diamond and Pearl take, but they forget that XEO Darkness and Coliseum take almost as long, if not longer, than fucking Diamond and Pearl, because they have exclusively double battles. Coliseum especially lags. XD is faster, yeah, but not enough faster to... It's like the enhancements that Platinum gave Diamond and Pearl, you know? It's not super fast, but it's not super... Or it's not super slow, but it's not super fast either. Definitely increasing the speed helps, because this game is slow as shit sometimes. Alright, now downstairs, we're gonna get ambushed by another fucking bastard. Some weird dude in a pink shirt and a blue overshirt and dark blue jeans, I guess. Gone Rag! I just now realized that if you take his name and flip it, it says Rag On. Wow. I'm actually surprised that it took me literally 15 years to figure that out. You'd think maybe my, childish brain from my teenage years would have picked on that, but I guess not. See, the fact that even now I'm still recognizing things or realizing things in the game that were not supposed to be recognized is weird. But yeah. Judging by the fact that the game is running at normal speed now, well, technically faster, which is actually better, it does appear that the issue was, in fact, a multitude of factors. Sorry if I'm just blabbing at this point. I really don't know what to talk about. This is actually the first test I've done with recording with the upgrade of the RAM. I might actually be able to get some better performance out of Breath of the Wild for the Semu emulator after using this. Because I know that Breath of the Wild the Simu emulator, quote-unquote, recommends the bare minimum to be 6 gigs of RAM, but it also recommends at least 12 to 16 gigs of RAM to be, like, the bare minimum is 6. The bare minimum is actually 8. Recommended is like 6, or it's like 12. 12 or 18, 12 or 16. Either way. So these guys are obviously the sextuplet brothers. You don't have to worry about a single one of them. As a matter of fact, as soon as you're done in the mayor's house, you can go straight into the pre-gym, and you'll immediately get attacked by a trainer. She has a Shadow Roselia? Or no, Shadow Naturally. She's a Shadow Naturally. The next one after this is Roselia, and then Meowth, all in the same area. So we can knock out these guys pretty quickly. Still wondering if I should, like, what other extra things I could do after the game wraps up. Because obviously I'm shadow purifying in between videos, so I'm not showcasing that on screen. Primarily because it's a pain in the ass. Hey, I mean, there's probably thousands of Let's Plays on YouTube of Pokemon X Gale Darkness showing how to beat the game the normal way. But how many people on YouTube are going to be recording Pokemon X Gale Darkness and showing you how to hack the fuck out of the game while they're playing through it? Not a lot. I already have a peek ahead tutorial for Pokemon X Gale Darkness on my channel. If you guys want to check that out, I'd appreciate it. It only take a couple of minutes of your valuable time. I mean, you're already sitting through 12 minutes of this nonsense. You could probably deal with 15 minutes of actual content instead of just some stupid kid. Well, not kid, I'm 25, whatever. I am blathering like a motherfucker simply because I am tired. This is a problem when it comes to, like, recording these games for me. I just don't know what to talk about. I mean, last video I was going over a bunch of shit with fucking Pokemon Sword and Shield, so maybe I could do that again. Popping open my phone again, seeing what I can talk about. God knows there's nothing on screen that's informative. Sorry, that's just my phone going off again. I've been getting a lot of really positive comments from you guys, and I am really, really grateful for that. By the time this video comes out, I'll probably have already made the video talking about this, but I do plan on doing a video at the time of recording. A Q&A video, or an Ask Me Anything video, basically. I'll probably record, like, the snippet for that later on today or something. I'll probably just knock out 1 or 2 episodes for this playthrough today, and then, I don't know, bust a cap in your ass or some shit, I don't fucking know. But here's something I can talk about. Oof! Alolan forms! I didn't really cover much of that in my Pokemon Ultra Moon Let's Play, particularly because I didn't use any of the Alolan forms during my playthrough. But I will say now that the Gen 1 bias of Alolan forms was disgusting to me. And I'm really glad that the Galarian forms that were introduced in Sword and Shield actually have different fucking generations represented. Like Galarian Corsola, Galarian Linoon, Galarian fucking Weezing. I mean, granted, that's still Gen 1 Pokemon, but that's still Gens 1, 2, and 3 represented. Gen 4 didn't have any Galarian forms, I don't think. Hold on, let me see. Because there's... Although the fucking Gigantamax favoritism is very annoying, though. I mean, Charizard has 2 Mega Evolutions and a Gigantamax form. Venusaur has a Mega, Blastoise has a Mega. They both have Gigantamax forms. Then you have Typhlosion, which doesn't have a Mega or a Gigantamax form. It doesn't have anything special about it. I mean, even Eruption, which is one of its signature moves, was not signature to itself, and Flame Wheel, which was sort of its signature move in Generation 2 when it was introduced, was also known by Growlithe's evolution line, so it's not really that special. Typhlosion, out of all of the starter Pokemon, Typhlosion, Meganium, and Feraligatr, have gotten the least amount of love across the entire series. Because you have Pokemon like Sceptile, Blaziken, and Swampert, which all have Mega Evolutions. Swampert, Blaziken, in fact, being one of the 5 poster children for the Mega Evolutions in Generation 6. As it was pre-released before Generation 3 fucking remakes were. Still some of my favorite Pokemon games, by the way. And then you have Gen 4, which has almost no representation either, though. It seems like Game Freak doesn't really like the even-numbered generations, do they? Because you think about it, Gen 3, or Gen 1 has fucking, like I said, all the starters have a Mega, Charizard having 2, and all of them have a Gigantamax form. Then you've got fucking Gen 2, which has nothing special about it. They didn't have a signature move, they didn't have Mega forms, they didn't have alternate forms, they didn't even have good hidden abilities with the exception of Feraligatr. Meganium is one of my favorite starters, or one of my favorite grass starters in particular, but it got no fucking love whatsoever. I mean, it's downright considered the worst fully evolved starter Pokemon, period. Like, across all 8 generations, it is the absolute worst one. Which is sad, because Meganium is fucking adorable, and I really love the dynamic between Ash and his Bayleaf in the Orange Island League. I thought that was fucking just absolutely precious. His Bayleaf loved him unconditionally, and I thought that was cute. Then you have the Gen 3 starters all getting Megas. All of them also having a signature move at first. Being Leaf Blade, Blaze Kick, and Muddy Water, respectively. Now, granted, none of them are exclusive moves now, but they at least had them in the first place. Then you have Infernape, Empoleon, and Torterra, which got nothing good. The only thing that's relatively good is Infernape's stint in OU in Gen 4, and Empoleon's stint in OU in Gen 4, although it was more of a UU borderline Pokemon. And while Empoleon is definitely one of my favorite fucking Pokemon of all time, definitely one of my fucking top 10 favorite starter Pokemon, I have a very big nostalgic bias towards it because of Pokemon Platinum. Plus, you know, having Dawn in the Elite Four, in the fucking Diamond and Pearl anime when I caught it as soon as it started, and, you know, Dawn is cute, and I was a kid, teenager person, I was weird. Anyway, not relevant. But they didn't get any love, you know. Gen 5, I mean, Gen 5 did get some good representation, I will admit, though. Because you did have... Well, no, Samurott got shafted. Easily shafted. Emboar is the worst starter in my opinion, just because I hate its design. Plus, its stats just don't work for my playstyle. It has high attack, high HP, high special attack, and miserable everything else. Like, why? Plus, being the third firefighting starter in a row kind of made a lot of people, including myself, very bitter towards the bastard. Nothing inherently wrong with Emboar as a concept, except for the fact that it's self-cooking bacon. But, I don't know. I don't like pigs. Well, actually I don't like monkeys, but I like maybe I should reconsider, actually, a little bit, because I really hate monkeys. But I've always considered Infernape better than Emboar because of its better stat structure. Although Emboar does have some really potent and very hard-hitting moves, especially with its hit ability Reckless, which increases the power of recoil moves, which it has like 4 of those. Flare Blitz, Head Smash. I know it gets Double Edge, and then it also gets Wild Charge. The fucking thing can hit like a truck. Plus, I think out of all the fire starters, it has the highest attack stat. Because Typhlosion and Charizard have an 84 base attack. Infernape has 104? I think? Blaziken has 120. Delphox has 67. She's not a physical attacker, she's a special attacker. Oh, and also getting lag out of nowhere. That's great. Gen 7 Incineroar has 115 base attack. And then Gen 8's fire starter Cinderace has like 100 and something? 113, I think. Let me see. 116. So yeah, Emboar actually has the highest physical attack stat out of all the fire starters. That's actually a pretty cool distinction now that I think about it. Blaziken is the second highest, and then Cinderace is number 3. Delphox, Charizard, and Typhlosion are not meant to be physical attackers. Although Charizard does really, really well when it comes to using its Belly Drum set. Alright, I'm getting chugging, and I don't know why. Like, I'm getting a lot of stuttering here. I'm just sitting here doing nothing, and it's just stuttering. That's weird. Anyway. Then, Gen 5 starter. Samurott is my preferred out of Gen 5, just because I really fucking dig its design. And I also love its stat structure, having high special attack and attack, but also being decent in HP and defense. I usually make it a fast physical, special, or mixed sweeper. That's my preference for Samurott. And then Superior got the fucking better end of the stick in Generation 6 when it got access to Contrary, which immediately put it in OU because of Leaf Storm. And then you have Gen 6, where you have Delphox, which is considered the... Well, no. Chestnut really was the worst one. I do not like Chestnut at all. I think its design is really weird and stupid looking. Plus, Grass Fighting is not a good type combination. 4-time weakness to Flying, plus it's weak to Common Ice, Fire, Poison, and fucking Psychic types. Oh, and Fairy types, so it has 6 fucking weaknesses. I think that was 6. Pointed out, it has a lot of fucking weaknesses for no damn reason. Also, the stuttering stopped, thank God. Anyway. And then, of course, Delphox got shafted, and Delphox is my personal favorite of the 3. Thank you, phone, for beeping when I don't want you to. That's great. And then after that, you have frickin' Greninja, which got a placement in Super Smash Bros. And a alternate form that is considered a quote-unquote mega, in a sense, called Ash Greninja. And I already don't like Ash as a character in the anime to begin with. So I was already a little bitter about the fact that Greninja, of all things, got his own special form with his trainer, whereas Charizard should have had that. And I already said about how much I complain about Charizard here. It's just that, you know, maybe Pikachu could have gotten something. I don't know. Maybe Pikachu could have the ability to, like, evolve into Raichu when it needs to. You know, and then devolve or some shit like that. I don't know. But, and also, the thing that really bugged me is that Ash Greninja had 110 base power increase over Greninja's base form, which, if you don't know, is 10 points higher than Mega Forms, which bothered me. Seems a weird thing to be bothered by, but it does. Alright, the lipstick wearing, wanting to be governor of Ore guy in a purple and gray dress. And a onesie! He's in a onesie for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. This shouldn't be hard, though. Quagsire has water absorb. I don't have any grass moves on anybody. I could have given Gardevoir Magical Leaf, though. Since I was going to end up pairing the two together, so... They technically have 2 type clashing here. Because Vaporeon has Hidden Power Electric and Ice Beam, which clash with Gardevoir's Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. Also, fuck your rocks, making me slower. It doesn't really help you, though, Buckaroo. Alright, give me my moon. That is my moon, La Luna, mine. Anyway. And then you had Generation 7, like I said, or Generation 6, like I was saying. Chestnut got absolutely shafted. It got the worst end of the deal. Ash Greninja was unnecessary, especially considering Delphox and Chestnut got nothing special. Delphox got the useless ability Magician as its hidden ability, and then Chestnut got the bomb-ass ability Bulletproof as its hidden ability. And Greninja got an even better hidden ability in Protean. And a fucking... favoritism. It's ugly. Then you have Generation 7, which I know was still pretty recent, but, you know, Decidueye is pretty cool. Incineroar is okay. Incineroar got... I don't know why it got... Well, I know why it got Intimidate, but I don't know why everyone went bonkers over it. I pretty much evaded the competitive scene for Sun and Moon, just because so much shit in my life was going down at the time of their competitive scene, I couldn't really get into it in the first place. I've done plenty of local and a few regional tournaments in competitive play, but I don't know. But then fucking Incineroar got Intimidate, Decidueye got a unique ability in Long Reach, which prevents contact moves from receiving contact-based ability effects. So, for example, if you use something like Leaf Blade on a Pokemon that has Static, which has a 20 or 30% chance of paralyzing the opponent when they make direct contact, Long Reach will prevent that from activating at all. Same thing with an ability like Rough Skin. Or Flame Body, for that matter. So it's a great ability. But, and then Primarina, my personal favorite, and one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon ever, got Liquid Voice, which could have been a very badass ability if they had made it essentially the Water-type version of Aerialate, where the moves, where normal-type moves got a 20% buff to their power and turned into Water-type moves. So it could have been like Aerialate and Pixelate. But no. It just turns normal moves into water moves without giving them a boost. Which doesn't make any sense to me, because why would you give an ability like that? It's, I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense. Liquid Voice is the same, like, why would I... If Primarina got Boom Burst, then hell yeah. I mean, granted, Liquid Voice does make Hyper Beam fucking broken for Primarina, because she can hit really, really hard with Stab. But, if it got a boost to it as well, it would have been a lot better. And then Gen 8, just came out. Cinderace, Inteleon. I don't know why Cinderace, Inteleon, and fucking, I can never remember the grass starters. Cinderace, Inteleon, and Rillaboom. I don't know why they didn't come out with their fucking, Gigantamax forms. Like, you'd think that the starter Pokemon would have Gigantamax forms from release, but they unfortunately tacked it on to the fucking DLC that's coming out this summer and winter, respectively. Which is fine, I'm still gonna get the DLC pack, don't get me wrong. It's just kind of weird to me that they didn't tack that on in the beginning and make it like a gift Pokemon later on, but at the same time, I can kind of get why they don't want your starter to be overpowered. But I guess it makes more sense if you think about it that way. I don't know. I just feel like some starter Pokemon got way more favoritism than they deserved. Charizard being the #1 biggest example of that. Charizard, don't get me wrong, I love Charizard, but they also took away its Mega Evolutions. I get that was for, like, balancing purposes, but I don't care. They took away its Mega Form. Oh, by the way. You'll see these little sparkly thingies from where the 6 brothers were standing. They're battle CDs. I'm not going to be doing any of the battle CDs, nor am I going to be collecting them all. If you guys really, 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 really want me to do that, and by that I mean anybody at all requests it, because I know nobody's going to, then maybe I'll do it, but outside of a request from you guys, I'm not going to bother. But I'll at least grab the 6 that I mentioned a minute ago. Also, after you clear out Phenac City, you can talk to the mayor and he'll give you the EXP share. Which is very, very useful for leveling up something that is pretty weak. But from here, I think this is actually a pretty good place to stop the video. Though I will grab the other battle CD, which is over to the left, I think. There it is. Alright. So, I think we'll go ahead back to the Pokemon Center. I have, for the most part, my final team at the moment. I'm still not sure if I'm going to go with Houndoom or Arcanine when I do eventually get to capture Growlithe. I might go with Arcanine, now that I'm thinking about it. But again, I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check with that when I get to that point. Nothing in my PC outside of Aggron and Flygon, nothing that is currently a Shadow Pokemon is something I'm going to use later on. Glalie, Forretress, Xatu, Dugong, Muck, Fearow, Piloswine, Persian, Roselia, and Lunatone. Yeah, none of them are good, so I'm not going to bother with any of them. But outside of that, I think that's going to go into it for today. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any ideas for content, please leave suggestions in the comment section down below, or on my Twitter page at Zodyrus. The link will be in the description. And until next time, this has been ZDS, making you to refine one video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good night, everybody.